This is Race Drivin. I'm going to be going through. I'm going to be playing 3 different versions of Race Drivin. Starting with the Game Boy, we're going to improve our graphics into the Super Nintendo, and then finally have the best graphics with the Sega Genesis. And so time starts. We can hear your giggling, Jake. So yeah, sadly I'm not going to use the Roadster right now. We're going to be sticking with the Sportster because it's automatic. So time starts once I select the track. I'm going to start with the Super Stunt. Alright. Ready? Go. The colors are a little weird because I tried to make them Remy colored. It's a Game Boy emulator, so you can kind of play around with the colors because you don't have many. Of course, I start with a crash. That's probably going to happen often because I'm actually not very good at this game. I know how to find a bunch of skips in it, and that's the only reason I like playing it, but it's rare for me not to at least crash once like I just did there. So yeah, honestly the Game Boy version is probably my favorite one, and it's the least difficult, or it's the most difficult to actually find skips for. Because if you try to drive off the track, like I do in the other 2 games, the track doesn't load unless you're actually like going on the actual track. So you can't just skip between one, or that track won't exist yet. It won't render, and therefore you have no way of actually reaching the checkpoints that you need in order to beat the game. Yeah, this game, the graphics in this game are honestly better than the SNES version, but you're limited by the 2 colors. So this one requires me to go through all the checkpoints so I can get to the end, and it's going to say qualified for whatever race. That means I've successfully finished a lap. At that point, I'm going to reset because I'm doing all tracks 1 lap. Extra time, yeah, that's the word. I'm going to do stunt. And stunt is the only real, actual skip I do in this game. And let's hope I do it right. I'm going to turn around, go backward, and try to get to the last checkpoint. I need to make sure I don't go through that checkpoint backwards or it won't count. So I have to go around that checkpoint and then go back through it the proper way. At which point it will think I actually followed the rules. There we go, good. And the only reason I can do this is because it can still render as I drive backward. I can't just skip around. And then lastly, I'm going to do autocross, which is boring in all 3 games because all you're doing is actually racing the track. No skips, no stunts, just driving. Yeah, and the reason I'm quiet here is because I'm not very good at autocross because it actually requires some skill compared to skipping around. Okay, there we go. We're done with the Game Boy version. I'm going to switch over to the SNES. There we go. I'm going to reset that. This game, you might recognize that the person who is currently leading this whole marathon is the world record holder in this game that I'm currently playing. Yeah, I can really tell how terrible the frame rate is going from the Game Boy 1 to this one. Yeah, but at least we have color now. So yeah, this game is so easy to find all these skips in. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. Problem in this game is that as long as you're pressing accelerate, no matter how fast you go, you don't ever decelerate. I mean, you can take your hand off of accelerate and you will still be accelerating. So I can't do what I do in the other games, which I was getting a little bit used to, which is let my hand off of the accelerate in order to slow down. And here I have to go 80 or less in order, or else I'll go too fast and hurt myself on that jump. And once I get to this checkpoint, I'm turning around and we're going right back over this loop again. Because it's actually much quicker to get to the finish line by going this way. Because it's just right over here on the other side of the grass. There we go. I did not pet the cow with my car. Alright. And then we're going to move over to the stunt track, which is just a joke of a track when pretty much anything goes in this game. Oh, am I going to make it? Yes, I made it. Great. And so you'll see here I get to the first checkpoint right away by turning backward. I wish I could do that in the Game Boy version, but the track wouldn't have been rendered if I tried that. Let me just skip over that part. Oh shoot. I have never done this before. This is quite embarrassing. I turned a little too far. But no matter, it's still way faster to do this than actually drive through the track. And I promise you we'll get to see a little bit more of the stunt track in the Genesis version. Now here comes the boring autocross. Which I'm just not good at. But now we are in a, looks like the American Southwest. And I cannot stay straight. I promise you I'm not drunk driving right now. Why can't I stay straight? Okay, there we go, and that was a SNES version. Lastly, we're going to move over to the Sega Genesis. Oh, let me unpause this first. There we go. Oh, I need to get the other controller for this one. There we go, that's why nothing was happening.
I like this one better.
Again, we'll start with the Super Stunt, which is in a different place right now. And here for, just for toy, we're gonna go over here to the Roadster, because I can do this one in automatic. Oh, is this loud? Well, everyone turn your volume down, and I will try to speak louder. So you'll notice here in the other version of this track, there is an actual mountain that we'd be driving on, but for some reason in the Genesis version, they didn't actually put that in, and we're just driving on basically tracks that are just floating up in the air. And yeah, there's a barn just for some reason up in the air. So the confusing thing about this game is I have to go actually fast to get over the jump compared to in the SNES version where I don't want to go fast. Oh, there we go. That was a good run so far on the Genesis. Until that happened. And then the reason I'm not skipping around in this game because it has like hidden checkpoints that if I do try to skip around, it won't count my time. There we go, that was one of the real cheat run strats in this game. And so this stunt looks difficult, but all I'm doing is pressing accelerate and not pressing anything else right now. The difficult part is remembering that to actually put on the brakes when I get out of that, or I'll swerve off the road there. And this is a stunt where I just drive up a really steep thing for some reason. I don't know why it's a stunt. And the trick there is not to go too fast, or you will like zoom up in the air. I can't really handle these banked curves. Nope. Wrong button, there we go. Let's go to the original track, which is the stunt track and the other ones. I'm blaming all my crashes here on the Roadster, because I'm used to driving the Sportster. So this track is actually really difficult because there are other cars driving around for some reason. And there should be cars driving around on the Game Boy and SNES version, but there aren't for some reason. And here we're going to do a little bit of cheat running. Oh, I think a car was driving over the loop at the time. That is the one problem of trying to skip that loop. Is if there happens to be... What? Okay. I'm going to keep trying this. What is going on? Yeah, I'm going to blame the Roadster on this one. One more try. Okay, that clip is not working right now. There we go. Please clap. And I like how there are just cars casually driving around going over that loop there. Like that's a normal thing that you would do on your daily commute. And then we've got one more to go. The autocross. Which this is the only track where it actually doesn't matter if I do skip around, but unfortunately it's still slower to skip because this is such a ridiculously short track. And time. I will, technically I'm not doing all tracks in this version because there's a custom version on this one. Oh yeah, and especially for Remython I made this. I wonder if you can recognize what this custom track I made is. A certain emote that this might be. Oh, shoot, I took the Roadster on accident. Sorry, Koi. See, yeah, now I'm driving around on Remy's head. You can't do this in the SNES version. So, Twanman, Oscari, I challenge you, Zcon, anyone else who's a race driving aficionado, you need to pick up the Genesis version. This is better. Alright, there we go. That's race driving.